it's interesting, these periods of life, we interconnect with many friends that, we've been connected, but now a little bit stronger.
Exactly. Well, here we are. Hold on a sec. Everyone, I'd like to introduce to you my good elder brother, Don Jorge Luis Delgado. We met how many years ago? It must be at least 15, 20 years now. I don't know.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
this was one of my groups that I took to Peru. I've been going to Peru now for many years since my children have been babies. Peru has been such a very strong component and aspect of my life and the wisdom teachings. And then when we came across you, and you were so gracious and kind enough to lead our group and take us through the mysteries and the beautiful teachings and the wisdoms of the Andes, of the Peruvian wisdom masters. And now you're here. So I'm so glad to have you here. And it's always a joy and honor. My heart's always open when I meet you, my elder
Oh,
brother.
thank you. Thank you. Ajin Punchao. Do you remember the Inca greeting?
Yes.
Ajin Punchao or Ajin Punchai. That means the impact of the light in you is magnificent. This is a beautiful greeting, In the colonial time, we changed the greeting into a question. And it's a very famous question. Do you know the question?
No.
How are you? How are you? That's not a greeting, that's a question. So
Yeah.
the greeting really has to do with sharing good vibrations. It's sharing about that light, but it really has deep meaning when we remember the practice every day as we awake, to see the light in our hearts, to see the inner sun, to connect with the Father's Son. So when we do that, and somebody comes to you and say, hey, the impact of the light in you is magnificent, that's the truth. Huh?
How do you say it again? Please pronounce it for all of us.
Ajin Onchao.
Alin on.
In general, when we talk with the groups of people, we say, for example, this in the Inti Raymi celebration, the Inca will start the speech with Ajin Punchao Kuna. So that means the impact in you, brothers and sisters, is magnificent. It's really the remembering that we are children of the light, children of the sun. One way is Ajin Punchao, and the other way is Ajin Punchai. Okay? In some of the islands, in Titicaca Lake, we use Ajin Punchai. In some other communities, Ajin Punchao. But of course, many people nowadays use Imainaya Kashanki. That means, how are you? In the colonial period, it was incredible how they used very weird greeting. Well, the Spaniards brought this kind of greeting, and they said this is the Inca greeting, and they say Amasua, Amayuya, Amakaya, which is don't be lazy, don't steal, don't be liar. That is the Spanish thing. The colonial period was incredible. But anyway, we are talking about this new day, the new cycle. As we release all the past, we can understand the meaning of this amazing opportunity, but also amazing responsibility we have as a contribution of life.
Don Jorge, please share with my friends here a bit of your background. You're an illustrious shaman, and when I met you, we met in very mystical realms. We met in very divine realms, and we've had many, many beautiful adventures. So kindly share with my friends here a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay.
And how you came to the wisdom traditions of Peru.
Well, I was as a as a younger people, I just wanted to be a very rational, scientific person. When I start to work, well, helping travelers, visitors, taking people to the hotels, from the bus station, train stations, I started by 11, 12 years old, taking visitors, travelers. So then, I just wanted to be very scientific, rational person who want to be in a good career, studying very hard. But there was many things that it was difficult to explain about the sites because as I start to assist people, I start to become a guide, tour guide. So but I never wanted to be a shaman. I never wanted to be somebody who's involved in the spirituality because I thought that it was too much superstition. So my mother, she was amazing here, amazing. She used to work with the babies. When the baby is born, sometimes it's crying, 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 and we don't know what's wrong. So sometimes the people says, no, it is the stomach because they cannot speak. So they give something for the stomach. Sometimes maybe it's a headache. Maybe it's too much this, too much that. So they don't know. So my mother can see what's wrong there. And most of the time, she says that it is the soul of the baby. It is not in harmony. Parts of the soul goes away. See, when there is some fear, when there is something wrong on the energy. Okay, so she will take the cloth of the baby and will walk in the mountains with the apus, apus, the spirit of the mountains. If the name is Satyan, she say, Satyan, Satyan, will call, for all the directions before the sunset, warm cloth. They will take to the baby, will cover the baby with this cloth, touching the body and without touching, will harmonize. And you know what? The baby will sleep for so long and will awake very well. So I used to say, what you did? I just welcome the soul. Sometimes the soul is really not so pleased. It's not really happy to be in this reality where there is so much chaos, where there isn't much love. So that practice made me to doubt a little bit about the science, but still I was considered superstition. Okay?
Right.
So, but as a guide, as a tour guide, I found myself with no information because, normally when we are a tour guide, what we have is more information, the knowledge of the culture, but most of our culture, it's the Spanish point of view, the conquistador point of view. So I was obviously a little bit rebelled about it. So I said, it must be something else. I don't think it's this kind of greeting, the right greeting, when the people say, don't be lazy, don't be liar, because you have this kind of remembrance or this kind of laws when you have those kind of problems. But in our society, it was more harmonious. Nobody really had to work. So nobody is really lazy. You don't have to say somebody don't be lazy because we don't have the word work, for example. Okay, so nobody works. So what we have is yankai. So what is that? It is the opportunity to give a hand to the Mother Earth, to the Spirit, to the Father Son. There are different modalities, really to be in service, really to bring our contribution that basically has to do with your gifts, with your talents, with your light is where is your strength. So escaping from everything that it is spiritual, esoteric, I studied at the technical school, then I went to study law because my girlfriend, now my wife, was studying law. So I started to study law, human laws. But when I saw all that practice, what's going on with that, So I decided to change. But my mother, she wanted me and all the children to be, professional with a good career, so to be an important contribution to the community. So I told to my mother, I'm sorry, but I think I am going to be the one that's not going to finish this career. But it's no worries. I will change. Oh, really? If you change, it's okay. So what's going to be the big change? You say, well, the big change is going to be, I will change from human laws into cosmic laws. Mm-hmm. So he started to laugh, She said, but I'm sorry, they don't give you a certificate for that. So she was laughing, and I noticed that she was accepting that I can choose what my heart can feel. So I had many experiences with stones, with crystal, with the mountain, spirit of the lake. Many of these experiences I share in my book, Andean Awakening, that's in Amazon and it's in Kindle, Andean Awakening, where I share a little bit about my experiences and many experiences in the power places in Peru. So the questions of the visitors, but by some mysterious reason of the cosmos, many, at some point, all the visitors, they were spiritual teachers, the spiritual masters, peregrines, And I was surprised. You see, I will ask to my colleagues, tell me, are your clients all spiritual people, esoteric shamans? They said, no. Really? I don't know why, but most of the people I guide, they are spiritual. So they ask me questions that I have to find answers. So as I start to have experiences, like finding the famous doorway by the Lake Titicaca, I introduced this portal to the world. That's a kind of interdimensional portal. I had experiences with a mysterious lady who will come to my house to do ceremonies. Amazing experiences I forgot until I got a crystal that was like an antenna, and many people had space brothers communication, amazing experiences. So I guess there is no escape. I was suddenly leading spiritual groups, connecting with the Mother Earth, with the Father Sun, with the spirits of the ancestors, the Incas, and the most important, the process I had to go through, which is the most important, because in the tourism business, we can say most of the time we have special training to be a guide. But that is more information. You can find in any book some information. But what is the most important? It is really about the process. How you release the resistance to be, the one that it's salka. Salka is a Quechua word that means wild. But, wild with common sense, because when we say wild, it is, some people say, oh, it's dangerous. No, it's really about the one that is not domesticated, the one that's unique. Yes. It's like to say about the unique self. It's about to surrender to this freedom. But of course, the ways how we see the freedom, it could be different in different cultures. But what is interesting here is we are free but interconnected. Yes. That's why the reciprocity is so important. That is not only between human beings, it's with all the cosmos, with all life that are also our family.
Oh. Don Jorge, when we shared years back, you had spoken about many prophecies of this time. Mm-hmm. And we're in a very special time. This COVID has brought to the surface that we are in a time of interesting change. How it means, what it means. Many people are saying different things. I'd like to ask you, what does this time mean and represent, from your tradition and from your understanding?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is something very, very special and very unique, because every Pachacuti Pachacuti is when we start a new cycle. And Pacha means cosmos. Pacha doesn't mean anything if it doesn't work with another word. For example, we say Pachamama, Pachayachacha, we say Pachacuti, or we say Taripai, Pacha, different words. But Pacha is a multidimensional word. But in general, we can say it's about the cosmos. It's about the life. So space, time, it's multidimensional. Many things. So Pachacuti means the return to the essence of the cosmos. So what does it mean? The essence of the cosmos is the spirit, is that light. It is that joy, because the spirit is always happy, happy with no reason at all. So this is when everything is upside down. That means everything that doesn't belong to the truth, everything doesn't belong to the light, it falls down. Okay? So the only thing that stays is what belongs to the light, because from there is where we start again. So that's the seeds of the light. That is the Inca seed that is in each of us. So that's why one of the names for the big Pachacuti, the other name is Wilcacuti. Wilca is divine, is sacred. Wilca is the sun, Wilca is the light. So Kuti is the return. So we are talking about the return to the sacredness, the return to life as sacred. So when we start to remember that, because, everything we experience in life, and we have a word for that, everything we experience in life, it's really about to remember, about to learn, about to expand our consciousness. Every single experience. And we have to go through it. We want or we don't want, because we will keep repeating until we get it. Okay? So the name for this is even one of the names of divinity. It's amazing. We don't have a single word for God. We cannot translate God in the native languages in Peru. So we say Pachayachacha. At the beginning, like some of the anthropologists or the archaeologists, some authors will say Pachayachacha is the one who manipulates from up there all life. So I had that idea. But later I started to understand the real meaning of Pacha and the real meaning of Yachai. Yachai is wisdom, but normally it's translated as knowledge. But in deep sense is wisdom. And Yachai, you can read from both sides. It's a palindrome word. Okay? Y-A-C-H-A-Y. So you can read from both sides. Yacha from what? Racha. What does it mean? It means wisdom. When we have words like this, that means it's a portal. This portal means that we have access to it. That means we can access to the wisdom of the stars, the wisdom of the masters, the wisdom of the Mother Earth, the wisdom of the elements, the wisdom of the light as wisdom. Okay? So when we use the word Pachayachacha, we start to understand this is about life remembering us. What is remembering? What we have to remember, the Wilcacuti. Life is teaching us. So really, to be in the process, we've been in that process a long time ago. I remember you a long time ago with amazing teachings. You know what I like from your teachings? Because you really go to the essence. You really go to the solar practices too. So it was amazing. I like it very much when you said, this is a society We measure everything. So it's a measurable society, very close to miserable society. That's it. It is funny, but this is something we are experiencing nowadays. What is really the miserable society we create? And what we can bring as a ray of the sun. We've been trying everybody, but now is really to shine. But we have to do an overview. If we are really releasing the night, really releasing what doesn't belong to the light, what doesn't belong to life. Because from there comes the perception we have. From there is where we start the new dream. Because remember, in the Aymara tradition, Naira is the past. Naira is also the I. So we see with the past. So the past will be in front of us until we decide to let it go, until we clarify the densities of our histories.
Very good. So, there's this prophecy of the condor and the eagle that is reviving itself right now. People are starting to see that the north and the south. Would you share more about this prophecy of the eagle and the condor?
Well, I was asking, I don't know how it started, when it started, but it's a beautiful prophecy. This is a beautiful prophecy that it says when the eagle and the condor will fly together. Yes. The eagle as the north and the condor as the south. Yes. It was like the mind, of the north and the heart of the south. Yes. And this is when we bring, nowadays, there is a beautiful institute, HeartMath Institute, they use this word coherence between the mind and the heart. Well, they say, part of the legend talks about the coherence. It's really about that, how really we can bring the new ways of life. But one of the most important things, I was, a little bit following this tradition, because once we organize a big gathering, the eagle and the condor, in the Sixth Sun, the movie, they are sharing nowadays those movies, and there, the first movie and most of these pictures, the first ones, it was at Lake Titicaca when we organized the gathering. Yes. And I was surprised, after 11 years, they finished 10 or something movies, It was inspired at the lake when we organized this amazing gathering with the elders from the north, the Hopis, the Navajos, the Yafasufa, amazing spiritual leaders, masters from the north tradition, the eagle tradition, they came. And in the south, we had even people from the Mapuches, from the Cayaguayas, from Bolivia, the Queros from Peru, some elders from the jungle, from the coast, from all over. It was 180 people at the Taipicala Hotel in Chiquito. We had an amazing gathering. So in this gathering, it was something very interesting happened. Everybody, brought some contribution, like everybody brings a contribution. But at that time, it was still some kind of heavy energy, about the complying what happened, yes. With our cultures. This is a very interesting point, because if we are attached to the victim, the victimization, the culture of the victimization, we stuck. It is really about to forgive, to let it go, to learn the question. What was the message for that? Remember, in the Inca period, in 50 years, half of the population disappeared. So it's amazing. How many million of people? That was a Pachacuti very severe for our continent. People dying in mining, trying to get the gold that the conquistadores, they wanted to take home. But anyway, we say now our Spanish friends nowadays, it's one world, we're changing. Everybody, we had to go through this process. The eagle and the condor brings unique gifts, and we have much hope for the eagle countries. You know why? because many countries choose as their totem, the eagle.
That's
What
right.
does it teach the eagle? Teach us to see the light. You see, this is one of the few birds you can see, they can see the light of the Father Sun any time of the day. So that is the meaning. The meaning of this is important to see the light and to understand that light is love, that's in service and it's wise. All light is wise. All light is love. All love is in service. There is no love that's not in service. So we can understand that the condor is teaching us amazing process. The process, how we can grow spiritually. And the condor has 4 steps. 1 step, acceptance. Okay? When the condor is soaring, looking for food, and when sees some food, it will go to the point, it will go to the place, even can touch a little bit, but will not eat immediately. The condor will fly away again. What happens? Escaping, no? It's going far away. 2nd step, separation, disattachment. Okay? The separation.
Yes.
If you have that practice, you can see the big picture of yourself. You can see the big picture, what happened with what you want to take. So from far away, the condor is near to this meat, this food. There were some baby pumas. And the condor start to think about it. Okay, probably this food is for these baby pumas. I take it or they take it. Well, he will probably say, okay, I will let these baby pumas eat it. Later, they will bring it food for me, because what the puma doesn't finish all the food. Always they leave something for the birds. So what happened here is the 3rd step, discernment. But the discernment not only with the mind, the discernment with the heart. Okay, the mind and the heart, in that coherence, we can say. Okay, so when we do that, only then we get the wisdom, the gift, whatever we are searching. Because if we do only with the mind,
Yes,
it is good try. But if we do it with the heart, that not necessarily is rational. It's really when we can get it. It's like in a human practice. Let's say I have accept. I feel some sadness. Somebody suffering. So how can I? No, it's not. It's not that pain. It's the weather. It's cloudy. In the mind, I can lie, of course, but in the emotional body, it's really you can feel it's there. But what I have to do, I have to separate from myself as much to see the big picture. Why I can feel that? Why I have these good excuses to be unhappy? Because all the time when we don't release those heavy energies from the emotional body, we have the tendency to feed those energies. In the underworld, we believe all the energies are alive. Refined energies, Sami, okay, we can find in all nature. All these energies, we can always feed with refined energies. But also we have heavy energies. The heavy energies, the humans, we are the only ones who have the tendency to be attached to it. Okay, we carry it so much. We remember much easier the heavy energy experience. What's heavy energy experience? Is any of the energies we experience in life that doesn't come from love. Okay, so it doesn't come from love. It started with fear. It brought anger. It brought, uncomfort. It brought sadness. So when we start to be aware and we start to accept, then we can bring this separation. We can separate to observe ourselves, how we are doing with these energies. And then, with the heart, we bring it to the light of the inner sun so we can clarify the density of the experience. Okay? And then we understand the gift. So then we understand really it was for me, not what happened to me. So the victim disappears and the learning shows up. So then everything in life, it is much easier because we are comfortable with ourselves. We are in peace with ourselves. So we can bring peace with our relations and we can bring peace to the new world we are creating together. So, you know, in the Andean ways, it can go deeper and deeper in different ways, different modalities, different practices. But what we are sharing nowadays is more about the solar practices, you know, because when we say clarify, what's clarification? It's one of the qualities of the light, okay? So we need to know very clear, we come from love. From the deep love of Pachatata, Pachamama, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Cosmic Father, Cosmic Mother. From that deep love, if we know that we come from love, so we are love, we change the perception of life. Because otherwise, we are going to identify only with our history. But it's not what we are. We had some experiences in life. We had to have experiences for us to remember, to expand. Everybody has their own experience. Then we have the other quality. We have to bring more transparency. Transparency. Then the luminosity. Then the warmth. You know, after the cold weathers, you know, oh, it's amazing, the warmth of the Father's Son. We appreciate so much. But how do we see as children of the Sun? If we are cold or we are warm? So we see what kind of words we have to observe, what kind of words, what kind of thoughts we have with ourselves first. Warm words, cold words. As you know, we have that tendency to use cold words. We don't notice because we agree and that's the normal conversation. We repeat often, you know, the cold words, the negativity. Our friends from Harvard Institute, in their research, they found that 90% of the human thoughts are negative thoughts. 90%. I was impressed.
Huge.
And we believe 100% of them.
Yes. It's very interesting how you mention that these spiritual qualities of our being have solar representations, luminosity,
yes,
purity,
everything.
light, all our spirits. So in other words, our heart, our deepest essence is light, and the words that we use in whatever languages are magnifying or contracting and obscuring the truth of the light, the heart, the love that we actually are. And so in this time right now, what I'm noticing, you know, in the world at large, we have a lot of potential right now for us to awaken to the light.
Exactly.
And at the same time, we have a lot of shadow, a lot of dark.
Yes.
How can we, what is the path to navigate getting clear on dealing with this time right now where we're inside our homes? Many of us, the world is in a quarantine. We have a time to, how should we approach this in the wisest way?
Yes, you know, something else, even when you are doing that, you know, you are embodying that light, you are in service to the light, you are giving a hand to the Father Son, okay? You are giving a hand to Pachatata, you know, because that's a way. You know, it's easy to give a hand to the Mother Earth, maybe planting a tree, doing an offering. It's more tangible. But some people is a little bit confused, but how I am in service to the Father Son? By bringing the awareness, shining that light. So what you do is that you are shining that light, but it's not only your bright mind, it is your bright soul, it is your bright heart. So another important aspect with the solar awareness is that the impact is not only in the soul, the impact is in the physical body. The impact is in the nervous system. The impact is in the immune system. As much we take the love from the Father Son, if we take sun during the day, at least 20 minutes, we are getting vitamin D. So we are making stronger the immune system. In my book, Inca Wisdom, I start talking about it by saying, you know, the Father Son nurtures our soul and makes stronger the immune system. And how we do it, how we navigate it, everything has to do with love. But the question is, well, how do I know if I am really growing spiritually or I stuck? Okay? Because our mind, you know, always can tell us many lies. And I say, okay, you are a master of love, you know, you're the top, you're the best. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm done. I am the good example. I am the ray of the sun. I am love. I am light. I will repeat many times. But really, so how we can really see? In the Indian world, we say we can observe how is the harmony, how is the love, service, and wisdom, how is your light impacting in the 7 relations. Okay? So how is your love, service, and wisdom? If you really love, if you really like, with the Mother Earth. Okay? Second, with the Father Son. The third, with the family. You know, in each we can go much deeper. But let's say family, the opportunity to expand our love, service, and wisdom. What is really love? It is so many things that today is remembering us. Is gratitude, is flexibility, is generosity. Doesn't have to be rational, doesn't have to be fair. It is just your presence. Even sometimes doesn't have to be about giving, but just be part. But of course, when we bring our love, we are really to harmonize. It seems nowadays is compulsory. Okay, everybody at home, we have to harmonize. Otherwise, it's not working. And we need to harmonize until we really get it. So we have to experience that relationship in a deeper level. Well, some people say, you know, no, really, my family are my friends because I never choose my blood family. Because we're talking about the blood family first. So the blood family, but it's our first cosmic gift, the cosmic experience. You know, sometimes we want to connect with space brothers, but you know, our connection with our cosmic family, the blood family, is not in harmony. How is going to be our relation with the space brothers? So the point is how we are dealing with the love, service, and wisdom, you know, with the blood family. Then the other families, very important, okay? The left side, the relation, it is the harmony with the neighbors. Neighbors, humans, plants, animals. The fifth is the tricky one. The fifth relation is the past that is in front of us. The past in front of us is the key, really, to go to the next step, to dream the new future. Because otherwise, you know, it was a good try. Otherwise, you know, when we don't love the past, we stop. Tricky, really.
To love the past is very challenging, especially if there's challenges and pain and suffering. And
yeah, that's the point. That is the point. You know, it's easy to talk. Say, okay, love your past. But, you know, when you get the experiences with much sadness, with much fear at some point. Terrible, terrible. You know, I had some experiences that I never thought I would experience, you know. But then when it was all the process successful, you know, I could really feel that gratitude. How, wow, it's amazing the other side of that energy, you know. So it is amazing, but everything is possible. Everything is possible. We are designed to do that. We have the gift, the most powerful light in our hearts. And we believe very much that the divine mother, divine father's light is anchored in our hearts. That's why it makes the most powerful light. There is no more power than that. Yes. Okay? So as we go through this past, okay, we can go to the future that is behind. We don't see it yet. You know, now, do you see the future, Setchen? What is the future? It seems that everybody will still do a review. What we really let go, we really forgive.
Yes.
Are we forgiving? Are we forgiving all these wars, the humans we create, all this killing? Are we really forgiving all these massacres, all these native nations, and all these segregations and all the politics? You know, all that kind of stuff is important to clarify the densities of it. You know, I had a dream a long time ago. I was talking with some of my friends. Okay, let's do a ceremony of forgiveness. The men gathering in the Himalayas in Tibet. Because for us, you know, it's the masculine polarity, and Titicaca, the feminine polarity of the planet Earth. You know, this is a feminine cycle. So in this masculine polarity, we really forgive all the nations, all the countries, all these traditions. We forgive each other, the races, all what we thought that it was right, but it was just fear, you know? So the importance to forgive will bring much peace. So when we really let it go, we're attached to too much material. As you know, the belief of the night is the belief in things. Oh, I'm losing my thing, I'm losing this, I'm losing that. Wow. Now everybody, we are in the same situation to start to rewire the brain in harmony with the vibration, with the gift of the heart. So when we see the future, how we see the future with much optimism, because when we don't have the past in front of us anymore, we don't see it anymore, okay? So we don't have the same points of view of the past, because the point of view comes from there, you know? So when we don't have the same point of view of the night, we can really see the new future that we don't know really much.
Yes.
But we are sure that something magical is happening. Something amazing is happening. And we start to believe in miracles. We start to believe in the power of love. We start to believe really in life and being aware to be life. You know, one of my teachers once told me, well, it's not about really about you to become a shaman. Really? No, I really want to be a shaman. I wanna see, you know, the future. I wanna see. No, it's not about to see. No. I don't think so. It's about, you know, to see what happened in the past. What happened? What is behind these veils? What is in other dimensions? I wanna see all of that. You know. No. It's not about to see. And I said, how come? Okay, then it is about I can go, you know, to those power places, and then I will understand. No, it's not about that. But wait a moment, what's all about? It is about to see, but not what you want to see. It is about to see that you are life. And that's it. You don't need anything else.
Yes.
So then you understand. Don't do anything. Okay? You don't need to do. You don't need to go. You don't need to becoming something, as the priorities. But as you get that you are life, that was the tricky point,
Yes.
What we feel, what we know, what is life. Because most of us, we've been surviving,
Yes.
in this busy world, sacrificing every joyful, sacrificing the relationship with our own soul. What the soul wants, it just want to enjoy life. We wanted to do things. We want to materialize things, It's joyful too, but, it was the ego there. It was your soul. But when we really get that meaning of life, that I am life, but life is this mountain, life is the sea, life is the garden, these plants, everything is alive. There is only one life. There is only one family. The Mother Earth family. Who is the family? Is all the creatures that drink the milk. What's the milk of the Mother Earth? Is water. Everybody who drinks water is our family.
Yes.
Isn't it simple?
Yes.
But as family, what we've been doing with our family, it is now all our family watching us is, oh, they are in their process. They are in their process. But in the meantime, they're enjoying the beauty of the salka, of the wild. Okay, so it is amazing that the future we are creating has to do much with what we are releasing. Okay, letting go, observing ourselves.
Yes.
Sixth relation, the future that's behind, that we are building every moment. This is really about creating, recreating, doing the magic of the transformation. How is my life based in love, based in my heart? How I speak? I speak only from the mind, from the memory, or can I speak from my heart? In the Aymara tradition, we say suma kamanya, which means to live in harmony. Okay?
Yes.
To live in harmony is the most important contribution of the Andean world. For the humans in different cultures, it's all about the man.
Yes.
This system is for the man, better life. This is to have a different growth, but it's for the human. It will be equal. This will be more democratic. This system, whatever. It's only about the human. And if there is no consciousness, it's not going to work. Never.
Yes.
But when we say harmony with all the expression of life, it's huge. It's huge.
Yes.
You see? So, but this is really amazing message from the ancestors. It is about to be the children of the light.
Yes.
So we can see in the seventh relation, how is the love? How I in service to myself? How I trust in my inner wisdom? Or I still need to know much to be wise? No, we believe that everybody is already wise, okay?
Yeah.
The only thing is that we have to feel that love. As we release the resistance, we open the endless spring of love, the endless spring of wisdom that each of us, we bring as a contribution to life. And everybody as a ray of the Father Sun, a ray of the Mother Earth, that we come as a filament to this world, to this Kaipacha. We are in service to life. We are in service to life.
Don Jorge, thank you so much for this transmission and remembrance that we are the light. Would you be kind enough to complete with us today with a prayer for all of us, for the world?
Well, it is a very, very important for us. Just we go to our inner sun. We can touch our hearts. Touching our hearts, we can see our inner sun. How is our inner sun? It's shining. It's shining, 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 and every bit of our heart is the fulgurancy. It is the enthusiasm of the inner sun going through all the cells in our body. All the cells in our body is remembering that they are lily suns. These lily suns are remembering the light. That light is love that is in service and it's wise. In all the cells of our body, from our fingers, from our foot, all the way to our head, all the cells are wise. All they are in service to life. They are in service to our body. So it makes stronger the immune system, and it shines in this new day. And it brings that love that harmonizes the relations. So we are so grateful, beloved Pachamama, beloved Pachatata. Ella texakaya muyo hapu kuntishi wirakocha pachachachi pachakama wilka, with much gratitude. Urpillai son koyai. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All my love and gratitude. Please give all my Peruvian family a big hug from the Raja family.
Thank you.
And I'm looking
and
forward
greetings, to so greetings, solar hugs. Huh? Solar hug. You know, solar hug means warm hug. Enthusiast for
solar
life.
hugs to all here.
Everybody, solar hugs. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Solar hugs, everyone. Much love.
Okay.
Thank you, Don Jorge.
Bye-bye, my friend.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Okay, bye-bye.